On today's DNVR Broncos podcast, we're breaking down who is Mr. Bronco in honor of the Nuggets and Aaron Gordon. Who might that be on the team? Plus, the Broncos made 11 moves in their front office. We're going to talk about that, and it all starts now. Jordan Dizon is back. Ryan Koenigsberg is back. The Broncos are back in the building working out, and the DNVR Broncos podcast is back, baby. Live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your local Front Range Toyota stores. We are the DNVR Broncos podcast. Ryan Koenigsberg to my left, Henry Chisholm to my right. We've got Dion and Yahir behind the camera, and Zac Stevens rocking and rolling with you today. Fellas, the three of us are back.
Finally. Feels like it's been forever.
Yes, it has, because you were doing the most important thing in your life.
Yes, definitely. Was a hell of a trip. Kind of want to go back.
I bet you do. It looked absolutely amazing. Take us through the week. And of course, if you don't know what you're talking about, which everyone does, because Ryan, last week there were so many congratulations in the Toyota chat.
Thank you,
I know
guys.
you've got them all over social media, as well as you and Allie officially got married.
Yes, and I'll fill you on. We talked a little bit on Friday, but you weren't here. So, Allie and I got there early, hung out, played some golf, got things ready, which was really great because I feel like if we would have got there like a day before everyone else got there, it would have just been a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Everyone showed up on Thursday. We went to Costco, literally got a pallet full of tequila and beer. Met everyone at the airport, hung out, went out in downtown San Jose, had a time. The time was had. Allie and I were dancing on a speaker. She fell off.
Oh, no.
No damage.
Oh my goodness.
No damage.
That
But
must have been scary for a second,
That just gives you like a
though.
snapshot
Yeah.
of what the night was looking like.
Yeah, a pallet full of tequila, dancing on a speaker so you fall off.
Yeah, went back to our house. Spencer ate a raw potato just for leisure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Had he done it before?
No.
Good.
Yeah.
Was it good?
He thought so.
Wow. He was at that level
Yeah.
where he thought a raw potato sounded
He's like,
good.
it's kind of just like an apple.
Because that's what people say when they eat onions. Like you can if you plug your nose, the onion tastes just like an apple. Like
What?
it feels like the same thing.
You want to try that for us tonight? I love onions, and I don't know if I'm
exactly.
doing a raw one.
I've kind of turned around on onions recently.
I just don't
I
really
think
rock
potato,
way?
same thing. Yeah, no.
Oh, that's
in a
good.
way.
Welcome.
I think everybody starts down on onions.
I just don't rock with raw onions.
Oh, man.
I mean, like in a salad or something on a
No,
sandwich.
no.
Really? Okay.
No. Whoa.
No, see, that's where I've turned
Get
around.
out of
Not
here.
on a burger either.
But you said it smelled
Oh,
weird
not-
in here when
okay.
you walked in. Maybe it was because I've been eating onions recently.
Could have
Yeah,
been.
me too.
That'll get you. You start sweating onion juice. People
Yeah.
start crying around you. I do remember there was a kid in my elementary school class who would just eat an onion like an apple, and
I
it was
respect
just really
that.
off-putting.
My grandmother really likes onions now in her advanced age, and there's a thought in the family that maybe it's kind of all she can taste.
Oh.
Because whenever she
pungent?
goes somewhere, it's just like, oh, she just goes for the onions.
Wow. Does she like wasabi too? Because that would kind of fall in line.
I don't think she's in wasabi situations very often.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Wasabi situation sounds like a band. Friday
Sounds like a band you would be in, honestly.
sounds fun. Friday we had a 7:30 tea time, so it was a quick turnaround from Thursday night.
Yeah.
We had 12 of us that went out and played. It was epic. It was a course that had all-inclusive, and they had like a little drink stand / food stand every 4 holes.
Oh my gosh.
They were called comfort stations, and I just remember seeing Eric on the 18th green, and he was just like, I'm so comforted. I'm so comforted right now. Snapshot of that is that Eric had so much fun at the golf course that he then went home, passed out, slept all the way through the Nuggets game, the rehearsal party, all of that.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my
His last tweet
gosh.
before falling asleep was, very drunk right now. Ask me anything.
Yep.
And then that was it.
Yep.
Did he answer any of the questions?
I was wondering the same thing. I haven't checked. Let's see if we
Oh
can
my
find that.
gosh, that's incredible. That's how you know it was a great day.
Yes.
Especially him falling asleep for the Nuggets game.
Yep. Rehearsal dinner was special. Some epic speeches from our friends and family. Then we went to a bar to watch the Nuggets game with everyone,
Yep.
which was sick. We had that place turned up.
Man, it looks so cool.
Yep. Saturday was the day of the wedding. Weather couldn't have been more perfect. Our photographer was awesome. She like told us all exactly what to do in every photo, which was very helpful.
Yep.
And then the ceremony was just like, so this will be the one thing that I'll expand on.
Okay, please.
I never was like, when I thought of the wedding, I never like thought about the ceremony. Like obviously I'm like, I'm going to do my vows and all this stuff. But
Sure.
like, I think when you go to weddings as a observer
Yeah.
or a invitee, a
Guess.
guest,
Yeah.
it's kind of all about getting through the ceremony. Like the ceremony is always beautiful. It's great, but it's like,
Yeah.
all right, let's get to this party.
Yep.
So like, that's just kind of the way that I had thought about it. But
Yeah.
like when it's actually your wedding, I didn't want the ceremony to end. I was like standing up there like, dang, this is so sick. Like
Yep.
the waves were crashing behind us. There's like a cool breeze. Everyone, you look out, everyone's just like smiling or
Yep.
crying happy tears.
Yep.
I was like going on to the last page of my vows and I was like, wait, when I finish this is like almost over. I don't want it to end. So that was a cool feeling. I'll never
That's way
forget like
cool.
that feeling.
How long was the ceremony? Short? On the shorter side?
I have
Long?
no
Yeah.
idea.
All of this like time doesn't
Yep.
make sense in my brain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
20 minutes, 30 minutes.
I have no idea.
Were you had a couple
I was
two
there.
drinks before? Yeah, you were there physically,
yeah.
maybe
No,
not
I mean,
mentally. Is that what
that's
you're
the
saying?
starting point. I was there. It was really good. It actually, sometimes wedding ceremonies aren't good. I
Yeah.
think that gets overlooked, especially like the vow writing part, because when you're in a situation where it's somebody, a writer marrying two other people who like understand that sort of thing,
Yeah.
it does make the whole thing a little bit more pleasant.
Yeah, we had obviously Will was our officiant.
Yes.
He's one of the best writers I've ever known and
Yes.
best public speakers.
Yeah.
So we knew from like
That's huge.
Like
7 years ago, we were like, when we get married, Will's gonna be our officiant.
And
Yeah.
like the jokes are actually funny.
right.
Because like sometimes you go to a wedding and you're just like, oh yeah, huh. But no, like it was actually really funny. It was a very good wedding.
Hell yeah. And then we had the party of a lifetime. Drank 25 bottles of tequila as a group. There's only 48 people there.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my shot in the ass day, so I wasn't super.
Yes,
know.
I
was
was
your
thinking
what?
like maybe there's only 40 people.
Were you not on?
No, he wasn't on. He doesn't know that
Oh.
you
Well,
got us.
yeah, everybody else has heard, but basically 2 a.m. the morning of the wedding, I had like a little lung issue and had to get a
gosh.
steroid shot in my ass
In Mexico.
in Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah.
worked.
It did work. Yeah, but I was feeling a little tired by the end. So the tequila, I wasn't doing my part.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then here's the part that I would give as advice. The next day, no one left. So we stayed, everyone that was staying in the house stayed in the house a whole other day,
Yeah. Yeah.
which was so great to just not have to like go from up here
Yeah.
to like, wait, we're saying goodbye to everyone
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
next morning.
Yep.
So that was it. And the combination of that is like, my vision was always like, I just want to be in a house with all of our friends.
Yeah.
And that would be like my biggest piece of advice for anyone who's getting married. Like, be around your core people
Yep.
as long as you possibly can. Because we were basically together from Thursday to Monday morning.
That's incredible.
And
That is
that
a
just
lot.
made the experience so much better.
Because that's what it's all about.
Yep.
It's about you and your significant other, but then celebrating with everyone. That's awesome. And plus, just a perfect backdrop of the ocean, having all your friends and family there, and all the tequila you can drink.
Yep. David says it's not a good thing to brag about, but we had a lot of fun. So that's
Yeah.
all I care about.
And you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Also, I
Henry's
think the
tush is
message,
okay.
yeah, yeah,
I guess
and
your
the lungs too.
Yeah,
more
yeah,
importantly.
yeah. More important.
Yeah, when she was like, "Yeah, we usually don't put these in the arm," I was just like, "Okay."
In the lung?
It's like, I don't, where are we going with this? Yeah.
Are you
Also, I'm-
Tyrod Taylor's doctor? Because I don't want it in the lung. If so,
Yeah, no, she was very good. Also, I told this story last week, and somebody said like, "Oh, just because the doctor spoke a different language, you didn't trust him." That's the exact opposite of what happened. Like, you have to be so trusting to be like, "I don't know what's up here. The communication here, we're both doing our best." and I'm just taking the shot in the ass. Like, that is the most trust I've ever shown any doctor.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
You had no
Mexico, too?
choice.
Also true.
Were you at a hospital?
No, they had we were at a resort. They had like a clinic there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you're okay. Ryan,
Very
I'm glad
cheap.
you're better
Very
than
cheap.
okay.
Yeah, I feel great.
You refreshed?
I do. Yeah, I needed. It kind of worked out perfectly. You know how like when you go back to school after the summer, they usually start you like on a Thursday.
Yep.
That's how it was for me.
Oh.
I started last week on a Thursday. I was like, okay, I'm slowly work myself back into
Yep.
this. Then we had a weekend.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready.
And now, how about this? You have a normal week this week, I would imagine.
Yep.
Next week, happy Memorial Day. 4-day a
Oh,
week.
that's
Then
right.
we're fully in summer mode, which
Wait,
is
so
just better.
Is Memorial Day next Monday?
Yep.
So we have a long weekend this
Yep.
weekend.
Exactly. Yep.
And
Yep.
so
Yep.
why were all the baseball players wearing the camo this weekend? Because I just assumed Memorial Day.
You'd have. Yeah.
That's a great. Was
me and
every
Zach
team?
don't watch baseball.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I
that's-
used to.
that's
That's
some-
so. It's
It
so
is so
sad.
sad.
It's so sad.
I was a guy that would watch 150 games a year.
too.
Like for 15 years of my life, maybe even 20 years of my life, and then they give me nothing.
Nothing.
I
And
still
honestly,
am.
I never thought it. Yeah, I'm impressed, Henry. I thought I was going to
Yeah.
be that guy, just all in, and it's
Actually,
so bad.
So tonight, Lexi is going to the baseball game with her friends, which opens the door for me to have a spectacular night where I also go to the baseball game, but I just get like my own little ticket and get to lock in and watch the baseball.
Would you do 9, 9, and 9? If you're on your own, like
No.
that might be the time to do
No,
it.
see, my thing is I like going to baseball games alone because there's no conversation or anything. You just get to sit there and kind of watch the baseball.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's nice to be able to just like lock. Sometimes I'll say like, oh, I'll call this dinner because like you get some food there. It's another like $10 to go to the game. But then you wind up just like sitting there and you never want to get up and miss any of the game to go with the food. So I do enjoy the hot dogs. Tomorrow's buy one get one hot dog night also. But yeah, I don't think I need the 999.
So you're 28
Yes.
going on 85 with that kind of philosophy,
Maybe.
which
Yeah.
is respectable.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
should get the headphones. You should get like the
Yes, yes.
headphones.
I've had that thought.
Listen to the radio broadcast while you're in there. Score the game.
Because I always knew that I would at some point in my life do that. Like
Yeah.
I knew that that's where this all ends is me being the guy who does that and listens
Yep.
to the radio.
Yep.
But I just don't know when. Because the tough part with buying tickets is that there's some places you go where you can see like the entire row of seats and things and pick one specifically where there's like no people around. But Game Time has the best prices, but you don't know exactly like, okay, is there going to be people next to me, or is
Right,
it like because I
right.
kind of like to spend the extra $10 and just be like, yo, these I get 3 seats to myself. I'm just going to sit here.
Wow, I'd be the opposite. I'd say give me
I'm just
the
here to watch
best
the-
deal, which
Yeah.
Game Time offers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Game Time is the best.
I want to set up the Mr. Bronco conversation before we get into it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think before we do that, it's important to note why AG is Mr. Nugget. Because it's not just like who's the best player or who is, whatever, having the best game or whatever like that. It's really about like embracing what it means to be, in this case, to be a Nugget.
Yeah.
Embracing the city, embracing the fan base, there's certain things like even like AG playing yesterday was like such a Mr. Nugget move.
Yes.
Putting his whole heart out there for the Nuggets.
Yeah, and it's kind of just like whatever like romanticized version of being a Bronco in this case that we have created in our head, like this player embodies that.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. And so I think before we even dive into the 2025 Broncos, I think in a way to get an idea of what this person is maybe looking back at history and identifying some other Mr. Broncos in that time frame, just to because it doesn't have to be the best player, like
Yep.
you said. And I actually want to ask you guys a question: can it be the best player? And before you answer that, let's give a shout out to our friends over at Mando, where Henry, I hope you had some Mando on your rear end when the doctor had to be
Wow.
all close and personal with it. Because if you
Yeah.
did, you were taking care. You said 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
That's a
it was
long
early in
day
the
of
morning.
being outside in the Mexico heat,
Yes.
sweating a little
Very
bit,
hot there.
partying after a Nuggets win too. If you had Mando, you were taken care of. The doctor had no issues being in your back or being around your backside there because
Yep.
Mando's not just a deodorant for your pits, but your parts, your butt,
Yeah.
your grundle,
Oof.
your
Yep.
feet, anywhere that you need deodorant, Mando is there for you. They have so many different scents, including they've got Pro Sport, Bourbon Leather, Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, and doesn't matter. After 12 hours of shower, you throw some Mando on, boom, you are good. Mando, you can get a Mando starter pack, which is perfect for new customers. Comes with solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Plus, if you use the code DNVR, they're going to give you $5 off. So you combine that with the starter pack, you're going to get almost 40% or over 40% off your starter pack by going to shopmando.com and use the code DNVR. That's shopmando.com and use that code DNVR. And please support our show and tell them that we sent you by using that code DNVR. Smell fresher and stay drier and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
And shout out to Shady Rays. I'm a big Shady Ray fan. They're really good sunglasses. I don't know. I feel like sometimes sunglasses try to go too far. Where it's like for example, they're the new sunglasses that have like the camera in them and all that sort of stuff. And that's not what I need. I want something I put on my face and then it just makes things darker. And Shady Rays are the best at that. It's high quality stuff. It's a world-class product, but they don't try to like snag you with all the different gimmicks. They are polarized and have those sorts of things. That's actually useful. Great deals from Shady Rays as well. I think that's why they took off. It's crazy that Shady Rays used to be like a small company and now like you go to the mall and there's just like Shady Rays stores in the mall.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And
Yeah,
that's why they've grown so much. 300,000 people have given them 5-star reviews. They're durable. Obviously, great lenses. They're great for the outdoors because they're polarized. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is going to give out their best deal of the season. So you go to shadyrays.com, use the code DNVR, and you can get 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
And shout out to everyone tuning in with us. Hit us with a thumbs up. The Twitter chat already dropping a lot of ideas of who Mr. Bronco could be. Keep those coming in. We want to see who you think Mr. Bronco is right now. Then we're actually going to let you vote on it throughout this week as well. So before we dive into this year's team, let's look at some who have been Mr. Bronco in the past.
So the Mr.'s Broncoist Bronco that I can imagine is Steve Atwater.
Oh,
He was on my list too.
That's a good one. It's a great one.
He's the perfect combination of like toughness, exciting plays, all of that. But there's something about being a Bronco that's like very presidential that he obviously nailed. Just the smile, the highlights, all of that. To me, if I was to build the number one Mr. Bronco of all time, Steve Atwater would be the first name that come to my mind. I'd be willing to hear some other ones.
Yeah.
But he's definitely on the Mount Rushmore.
Oh, without a doubt. A guy that jumps to my mind right at the top when you think of it is DT. And it's kind of everything that you said, along with being a fantastic player, but part of a Super Bowl team. I think that also helps a lot. Presidential. He's always going to do things the right way on and off the field. And not the most outspoken guy, obviously, but just, man, when he talks, it means something. And boy, did he embody being a Bronco. Fantastic.
I think Ed McCaffrey is my number one.
That's good.
I mean, I went back and read like Harrison's Why Aaron Gordon is Mr. Nugget from a couple years ago. And it's all like the selfless and part of the community, does everything, just like glue guy, lunch pail, hard-nosed, all sorts of that kind of stuff. And when you think of Ed McCaffrey as a guy who, like, obviously the numbers were good, but what took it to the next level was the blocking and all that sort of stuff that he did. Like tone setting type stuff, consistency, glue guy. Yeah, I think that's where I'd go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch that I can think of. Like, I would have maybe had Terrell Davis in there. There's something about like the Mile High Salute, which is kind of his thing, that is a real Mr. Nugget or Mr. Bronco move to like have your signature thing that like everyone catches on to, that like transcends through generations and becomes like a Broncos thing. Justin Simmons would be the most recent one that like for sure had that title for me. And there's also something about it where it's like they kind of, in my opinion, have to be universally beloved by fans. And as we get into the conversation deeper, I think that's what makes it harder. But like I don't think Ed McCaffrey had any haters. I don't think Steve Atwater had any haters like complaining about some like thing that he didn't do as well as someone else at his position. Like there's something about it where it's like maybe they're not a superstar caliber player, which Steve obviously kind of blurs that a little bit. But the fans like are willing to forgive them for anything because they are who they are.
Yeah. I think that's why I put Phil in front of TD, because I think TD, when you look through like the history of Mr. Nugget, Gary Harris to Monte Morris to Aaron Gordon, like again, it's like it's your glue guys who do like the dirty work, who have like that energy, and I think Phil just fits that mold so well.
Another thing, like Aaron Gordon went to Serbia
Yeah,
to hang out with Jokic.
Gary Harris, the only other guy who ever did it.
Yep.
To Mr. Nuggets.
Yep. And like Jokic talked about that recently, and he was just like, "Yeah, like everyone always says they'll do it," and then Aaron actually did it, and I was like, "Whoa!"
And that just reminds me of DT, like being like a godfather to Peyton Manning's kids, and like that close with them. And there are these extra things, which I mean, just pull at your heartstrings. And like Aaron Gordon, man, is he just absolutely, like you said, just loved by every single person. He's the one in the streets after a championship, literally walking
in the streets
in the streets, walking with the fans, just people that embrace. You don't have to be from here. I think with Phil Lindsay, he's a great example, Henry, where he is. If you're from here, it just makes it even that much deeper, but you don't have to be from here. It's do you embrace it once you're here? And man, Aaron Gordon just does that. So my one question, because we haven't had this conversation since doing this pod. And my one question is, can you have a Mr. Bronco, a Mr. Nugget, a Mr. Av, a Mr. Rocky, if the teams aren't good?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I agree with you. And I agree with the way you answered it too, though.
But being good makes it a lot easier to identify them.
Yep. And I think that's a reason why, like, it's the Nuggets have had a couple of Mr. Nuggets in the past because they've been a championship caliber team. They've been so good. And for the Broncos, it's tough. Like Justin Simmons, it has been that. He definitely was that. Philip Lindsay was that. But yeah, it's tougher to kind of embrace the idea of it when, like, it's tough to embrace the team.
There's no Aaron Gordon celebrating in the streets with the people if there's no championship.
Yeah.
Like Ezekiel Tovar isn't celebrating in the streets with Rockies fans after they win their 8th game.
No, because nobody would even know that it happened.
Yeah.
Maybe he should be celebrating the 8th win.
Rockies now 3-0 this season after 8-game losing streaks.
Hey,
Oh my gosh.
that's big.
So
It's really
they've never got to 9.
No, every time they're 3-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember that in what,
7 games.
more losses?
Yep, 7 more games. Keep that in the back of your mind. I wonder when Gary Harris, I did a quick Google, but when we first started calling him Mr. Nugget, because he was here in the bad years too.
You can just text Eric. I'm pretty sure he started it.
Do you think he's fixed from Mexico?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or the Nuggets lost yesterday.
Yeah. I'll see if I can figure that out.
He did an AMA yesterday, so
Yeah, no, that's the
this
thing.
one actually continued?
I don't know
I didn't check this one, but it
Oh,
was.
you're saying what? Once he
where
doesn't
he
have
was.
AMA?
Yeah.
Yes. I looked at his I tried to search D-line drunk AMA. Tough to find the one I was looking for.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh my God.
There's a long list.
That is hilarious. I mean, at Jalapeno Business, just to throw another sport out there that's not the Nuggets and not the Broncos, Todd Helton.
He's the best player on the team, though.
The only Mr. Rocky. That's a good point.
There's a case to be made. Charlie Blackmon probably fits
Yes.
it better.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, totally.
Definitely.
Yes, Charlie Blackmon actually is.
So we've got some people in the Twitter chat. We can kind of move this conversation
Back to the
the
Broncos.
present day.
Okay.
And this team. Ryan, who would you throw out there?
So I want to preface this by saying I believe we are one more really good season away from knowing the real answer to this.
Okay.
But to me, the number one candidate is a man who booed me personally just this Friday.
Wow.
Whoa.
And it's Alex Singleton.
Yeah.
And
That was
the one thing that is keeping me from saying like that he's definitely it is just that there's a little bit of back and forth in the fan base about how good he
True.
is. But all the other things I feel like he knocks out of the park. He's great with the media. He's great in the community. He's like actually a really cool dude. He's a great teammate.
Yep.
You know, you saw as we were at his event on Friday, like his teammates coming around to support him. He was a Walter Payton Man of the Year guy. Like all of that other stuff checks the boxes for me. There's just that one missing piece where it's like, I feel like if Alex Singleton has a great season this year and the Broncos win a bunch of games, that it will be obvious.
Yep.
And then he'll get a contract extension because he's entering the final year of his deal. And then it's easier to embrace a guy when he's locked up for the long term as well, and him really be the heart and soul of the team.
Quick backstory for the people who are wondering how Alex Singleton booed me personally.
Yes, this is a good story.
So we went to Alex's cornhole tournament on Friday. All three of us did.
Yep.
We competed. Your team did better than our team. We were
Yep.
2-1. You were 3-0,
Yep.
and then you had to leave, which
Yeah, I know.
crazy. That's like leaving a golf
know.
course when you went like 3 under on the
Imagine
front.
if
Well,
Scotty just didn't show up on Sunday.
Yes.
Because I knew that I had good backups behind me. I felt comfortable leaving. I mean, we went 5-1 collectively in the round robin.
We did. Then we lost. It was a game to 11
Yeah.
in the playoffs,
Yeah.
which really I didn't know until we were already down 5-0.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the update on my phone midway through dinner, and I was
No.
like, really, guys?
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
points?
Well, it was just the team we played was amazing. They made like
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. They just put in the hole every time.
Yeah. So it was like 5-0, and he's like, "Oh, just so you know, it's to 11." I was like, "What?"
It was nothing like
And then
that.
like one turn later, we were done.
It's over.
The team
yeah.
we played right before was awful though. Like
Yeah,
now
we won 21-0.
We did. Like
Wow.
she was terrible.
Wow.
She was awful.
But
Was it
anyways,
just one person?
No, but one in particular was oof. She got
She
like
never hit
halfway
the
there
board.
once. Yeah, she never touched the board.
So then we got bounced. Oh
Yeah.
well, tough. Then there was a raffle. And
Wait. Opportunity drawing.
there was an opportunity drawing, and we had purchased tickets. Henry 6, me 3.
Yep.
No.
So we were locked in on the drawing.
Yeah.
And Alex goes up and he's like, all right, next prize we have is a basketball signed by 3-time MVP and NBA champion Nikola Jokic.
Yeah. Well, 'cause the first time he really stumbled.
Yeah.
It was like Geo kick. And then this. Yeah.
And so then I like, you know, from like maybe 20 yards away, I was like, we got to work on that pronunciation.
yeah.
And he was like, what? I was like, we got to work on that pronunciation. Then the Special Olympics athlete he had up there emceeing with him just goes, wow, looks like we got a real comedian in the crowd.
yeah.
So I got absolutely cooked.
Ryan got roasted.
Everyone laughed. I might as well
Everybody laughed
just
at Ryan.
left right there.
Yep.
Good thing you didn't.
Yeah.
But I did it. And then they pulled the number for the
my
Jokic signed
gosh.
ball, and it's me.
Yep.
That is
earned it.
incredible.
And
Second time Alex had to say it, he just said Joe kick. He said it super confident.
yeah, still very off.
Very wrong, but confident at least.
So then I'm like, oh, that's me. And Alex just goes, boo.
Alex is really upset.
That is incredible. Oh my gosh.
So
We're going to have Alex on the show in the next couple of weeks too. So
Oh.
we'll see if he's corrected his pronunciation.
yeah, I tried to help him afterwards, but he didn't seem interested.
Wow. Wow. Maybe we won't have him on the show. We'll see if he's interested in coming on.
It's true.
Yeah.
But one of the things that, I don't know if you said this, you might have it. The event he had benefited Special Olympics, and there are a lot of players in every sport, I'm sure, in Denver and outside of Denver that hold events and that hold charity events, or they hold Bo Nix held an event for kids this past weekend. Some of the time, it's the players actually make money off those events, and other times they lose money because they spend money on bringing outside vendors in, and all the money goes to charity. And that is something that Alex Singleton does. He's fantastic about it in the community. He's been a big supporter of Special Olympics. Every year he's been on the Broncos, he's flown out to where the Super Bowl is to be on Radio Row and do that as well for Special Olympics to benefit them. He had this event this past week. So it's just one of the things that kind of takes it up a notch is when you're great in the community too.
Fair point from Paul, though. Can he be Mr. Nugget if he can't pronounce Jokic? Mr. Bronco?
Yeah. I mean, it's a fair question.
He definitely couldn't be Mr. Nugget.
It's a point in the wrong direction. Yeah.
But like,
It's in the cons list.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to go through the locker room and start interviewing guys to just see who can. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like Bo Nix can.
Oh, like if no one can. Well, Bo Nix went to every playoff game, so I'm sure he does.
Alex was there on Friday.
It's true.
Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thursday. Whatever day.
I was hoping that we
Took the
played him in
first shot.
cornhole, so the first time he was short, I was gonna be like, oh, just like your little free throw last night.
That would get in his head.
He
Singleton
was, yeah.
also at the Rapids
He's-
game.
He's a man of the people.
wow.
Is he campaigning right now?
He might be campaigning.
Very much.
Rocky Mountain Cup.
No way.
If he
Wow.
shows up to a Rockies game, he's clinched it, right? Like if anyone goes to a Rockies game,
I know, that's like a CSU game.
wow, rude.
Yeah.
That's crazy that he went to the Rapids game with the Rocky Mountain Cup. Do we have a picture of that?
Yeah, I think he's Instagrammed it.
I bet you people thought he was a soccer player given his hair.
Oh, that's very true.
Probably.
I saw him take it down at the event on Friday, just for a quick second, then he put it back up. It's so much longer than I would have thought.
Yeah, he's got some locks.
Yes, he really does. So let's continue this. Throw out more Mr. Bronco candidates in the Toyota chat. We want to see who you've got, and we will hit those after I give a shout out to our friends over at First Bank, because timeouts are for sports, not banking. That's why First Bank offers you the tools and services to take control of your money wherever you are. With their secure, easy-to-use mobile banking app, you can check your balance, pay friends, and stay on top of your money anytime, anywhere. It's banking that moves with you. And here's something extra. Open a new First Bank checking account and you can earn $300. It's a simple way to kickstart better banking and enjoy a little reward for making a smarter money move. So if you're ready to take banking to the next level, check out efirstbank.com/bonus. That's efirstbank.com/bonus to learn more and get started. Better banking is just a few taps away with First Bank. So make sure to take your banking to the next level. Check out efirstbank.com/bonus. Certain restrictions and requirements apply. That's a member FDIC.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Toyota. Toyota's the best vehicle on the road. I told a story, I can't remember if it was Broncos or Buffs last week, about how I went to get a rental car in Mexico. I chose a Toyota.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, they were like, sorry, we don't have that one, but we have something similar. And I was just like, can't be possible.
It's not.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
it's a Toyota. And
Yeah.
so I got stuck with a competitor's mid-size SUV, and it put the mid in mid-size SUV, which Toyota simply doesn't. Toyota puts the elite
Yep.
in elite mid-size SUV.
There we go. Okay. Yeah.
But I can't say enough about Toyota. I'm locked in for life with the Toyota family. And you will be too as soon as you get your first Toyota. So if you're around here and you want to join the Toyota family, visit a Front Range Toyota store at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota and Boulder, Groove Toyota and Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East and Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is the official automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
So I feel like we can't just fully choose who Mr. Bronco is. We got to let the community choose it, and the community throw out names. And so I think what we do is we make a little bracket style this week where we can vote on who is Mr. Bronco. Let the people vote on who their Bronco is. But we got to start off with, should we do 8 names? 8
Can
players
I?
to start?
Yes. Can I make I don't know what the word is, a bylaw?
Yeah.
Oh.
If the winner isn't decisive enough, then I don't think we have a Mr. Bronco.
I
Yeah.
like that.
So
So
I think it needs to pass by like a 2/3 vote.
just the final vote?
Yeah, I think that's the only way of doing it.
Yeah. It should be that obvious.
And
Yeah,
if it's
I would
not,
agree.
It's just like, let's table this discussion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come back after the Broncos win 11 games next year and win the division, and see if we have a better candidate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good. Paul B, a comedian in here, says Jerry Jeudy was the perfect Mr. Bronco.
Well, it looks like we got a comedian.
Get him. Also, David, when he said the tequila was too much and we shouldn't brag about it, I just want to say that his previous chat before that was inviting us to a bar in Florida. So I'm just a little back-to-back that surprises me.
You better tell him to have 25 bottles of tequila
Exactly.
ready if we're coming.
Must not. Yeah, I
We
think
also, by the way, shout out to our London trip, which is coming up.
Yeah.
Last time we did a booze cruise, we ran the cruise out of tequila.
I did my part. I'd say
You
with that one.
absolutely did your part.
Yeah.
And we also did our part
Yeah.
to save your life.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That fine balance
True.
right there.
It was a fine balance.
Speaking of, I don't know if by the time we did this last show, if that was announced, but our London trip is official. We are going to London. We knew we were going to London the whole time, but you can join us officially now. I'm pretty sure the link's going to be in the description. You can go to our social accounts as well, DNVR_Broncos, to get in on this. We're going to London for the Broncos-Jets game, but it's not just for the game. We're doing events on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we're experiencing this now. We know how to do it. We had a fantastic time the first time. It's only going to be better this
Do
time.
we have a live pod scheduled yet?
That's a good question. I don't know.
We got to get that set up.
That was such a great way that kind of
We-
kicked the week off.
Remember, we just did it impromptu.
Yeah.
We were just like,
Yeah.
we're going to like the Green Arms or something
That's
like
true.
that.
that's what they're all called.
And
Yeah.
Global
They love arms.
I don't know. I just remember
Global
there's
Arms,
like
that sounds maybe not a bar.
yeah, it does. You're right.
Lion arms.
Yeah.
We just told people that's where we're going, and there was like, I don't know, 30, 35
Yeah.
people that came. We're all packed in
At
the
the-
corner.
Yeah.
And that was great. So we got to get that going again.
Gosh, I'm so ready for this. And let's get this bracket going. So let's do 8. We'll
Okay.
try to give the
Yeah.
top 8 guys here.
Who else is there? I mean, Cortland Sutton is on the list for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, he's been here so long.
We're seeding, right?
yeah. So Singleton
we have to
won?
seed it. I don't know.
Let's talk through it for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's throw some names out there and then we can talk through it.
Sutton is probably on there because I think
I agree.
the number one thing in the Nuggets guys, like Mr. Nugget thing, is team before self. I think Cortland Sutton, a receiver with a bunch of bad quarterbacks who never really complained about it, that's a pretty rare situation. I think he gets big points in that category.
That's very fair.
He also is like the president of the Bo Nix fan club, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know though. There might be someone that's even more president of the Bo Nix fan club
Yeah.
who has to be thrown out right now.
Delusionally.
We can't go any further than right now to mention this guy's name, Garett Bolles.
Yeah.
He absolutely is on this board. And by the way, the Twitter chat's talking, he might make it pretty darn far.
He also comes from the Von Miller school of being the president of the quarterbacks fan club.
Exactly. Yes.
It's very true. He learned from the best.
Yes. No, he's just delusionally positive about the Broncos and has been for forever.
Yeah. Obviously deals with the one drawback of certainly not universal fan support.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, and you're right. Now does he have
Like-
universal fan support?
I don't know. I was at a bazaar at the local Italian church, and
course.
What is a
Did you
bizarre-
buy anything?
yeah, tons of stuff. That's all aside from the point. We were playing bingo,
Wow.
and when number 72 came up, the bingo lady said, "Holding number 72."
no.
Is that? I didn't know that churches would have bingo.
Well, at a bazaar, of course.
Yeah,
I guess
Bazaar bingo.
I guess.
I highly recommend. By the way, food's amazing, vibes are amazing.
Huh.
Was this in Mexico or here?
This was here.
Oh, this was here. Wow, that's impressive.
So yeah, that like stain exists on
Fair.
the resume.
No, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. But not enough to keep him off the bracket, right?
He's
on the
He's on the
No,
bracket.
Okay,
He's
for
definitely
sure.
he's on the bracket. Let me throw out 2 more names because I have questions about these guys. Can quarterbacks be Mr. Bronco?
It's tough.
I don't think so. And
He will win the tournament.
He will. Oh, he would. He would 100%.
it's just too like the quarterback is the quarterback.
Yeah.
Mr. Bronco is a totally different position.
Yeah.
You're not really
It's
going.
not face of the franchise. That's
No.
not what Mr. Bronco is.
No, it can't
Yo-
be honestly.
Yo kick? Is that what?
Jokic.
Jokic?
Yeah.
He's clearly the face of the Nuggets. He's not Mr. Nugget.
No, he's
Yeah.
not, and he can't be. And I think, because like John Elway is the Broncos.
Yeah.
It's just different than that.
I think that the problem for quarterbacks is that you can't go above and beyond because all those above and beyond type things are just expectations for a quarterback. Like you're supposed to be at Nuggets games. Like you're supposed to be like the face of the community and all that sort of stuff. You're kind of just like checking off like you're supposed to be the guy who calls the new teammates first. Like those are job requirements, not going above and beyond.
Yeah,
True.
very fair. So he won't be on the board then.
No, and we're gonna get a bunch of people saying why isn't he
We'll
on the
make
board?
sure every time we put a tweet out, there's an asterisk that he can't be on. So then this goes to my next.
I don't think he should be. Yeah.
This goes to my next question. What about Pat Surtain? Because I would say he embodies a lot of these things we talk about with Mr. Bronco, but at the same time, he's undoubtedly the best player on the team. And that's actually kind of like a knock against being a Mr. Bronco. A Mr. Nugget is like, it's not really the best player on the team.
It's about, again, it's the heart of the team and the soul of the team, which
No.
it's
But he
not
kind of
that
has that too.
Well, but
No.
Pat's not really the fiery up guy. You know, it's not that he ranks poorly in those categories.
Yeah.
It's just that you're looking for the guys who are like number one, like look at what he's doing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I was trying to take myself back, like Champ Bailey. I know.
It's tempting.
I know.
He was on my list of like tough decisions at the very least.
Because he was the best player on that team. And I'm trying to think, like, I don't know. It's like Jake Plummer. He's ineligible because he's the quarterback.
All right.
I don't know who else it could have been on that team other than Champ. So it's like, then does that bring Pat and make him eligible? I just feel like if Pat is eligible, it distracts from the point.
Yeah.
Because once again, he's going
Yeah.
to win because he is the best player.
So
John Lynch, Mr. Bronco on that team?
That's a good.
Yeah, that's
Good
a really,
fit.
it's a really good one.
I'm just looking through.
I mean, Todd saying Al
Trevor
Wilson,
Price?
early 2000s,
Yeah.
definitely. I agree with that. Trevor Price could be one. So are there any other Broncos that we need to make ineligible?
Rod Smith was on that team too.
Rod Smith
Yeah,
is
Rod Smith
perfect.
for sure. Yep.
Champ probably wasn't number one.
No, he wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Rod Smith would have been guaranteed.
Yeah, totally agree.
And
Darren
and,
Williams
like,
even.
Also, like, being undrafted is, like, low-key a Broncos thing.
Alex Singleton, undrafted.
I know.
Very undrafted.
So any other guys we need to make
CFL
Wow.
undrafted. I mean,
Wow.
CFL undrafted. Like he took a couple of years to even get to the NFL.
Yeah, that's true. Can new players be Mr. Bronco?
No.
Yeah,
You need some tenure. And honestly,
I agree.
when he said John Lynch, I was like, eh.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's tough.
No, I agree. And so someone threw out Drake Greenlaw. I think in a
Aaron
year
Gordon
from now
was-
he could be. But right now, I mean, you got to do something on this team. And we got to see it. The fans got to see it. So any other players that we need to make ineligible for this conversation? Bo and Pat are already gone. They're ineligible.
Yeah. No, I think we're good.
Everyone else is
And
good.
that's, I'm not going to put either one in each position, but that's like Joker and Jamal.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, Aaron Gordon was a Nugget for less than 2 years before he became Mr. Nugget.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I like
So it
that.
doesn't just, yeah.
So some other names to throw out. We've got Alex Singleton. We've got Garett Bolles. We've got Cortland Sutton. Quinn Miners,
Yep.
I think needs to be thrown out there.
Yep.
Any other obvious ones that we need to have?
Let's see.
Who?
Nick Bonino's
I don't
thrown
think
out
it's
there.
obvious.
I
I
think
think there's a case.
You know who I think in
Jonathan
that room
Cooper?
really stands out is Jonathan
Yeah,
Cooper.
Cooper should be on
I
there.
think that's a guy that should be in
He
there.
should absolutely
But-
be on there.
Nick Bonito kind of, we're going 8 deep. I think he's probably on the list.
I
I
think,
think
so too.
there's good competition for those last couple spots.
What about the inside guys? Zach Allen, Jonathan Franklin Myers, DJ Jones.
There's another part of this which is like quotes. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that Garett Bolles has for sure, where it's like
He has
that
quotes,
he has
that's
some.
for
He
sure.
said some things that you could put on a shirt. I can't remember anything Zach Allen's ever said.
No,
Yeah.
Zach Allen, credit to him, he talks to the media all the time. It's very respectable. nothing comes out of it.
Yeah.
Nick Bonito, he had some moments last year, man, where it was like he was feeling like a big part of this. So I think that he's on the list.
Yeah, I think so too. Henry, you're digging through.
Yeah.
I want you to tell us about it, but I got to give a shout out to, something that we gave a shout out to. We're going to London. We got so many events. It feels like after the Nuggets game last night, we're entering this like unbelievable dry period in sports, and it just absolutely stinks. So what we're doing, we're throwing some events out there. The Rockies will be playing this summer. But we're going to make it fun by doing some Friday afternoon games, or actually, no, evening games over on the rooftop. If you want to get tickets to that, go to thednvr.com. We're going to be out there. I think the next one's just in like a couple of weeks from now. We're doing that every couple of weeks. We've also got golf tournaments. We've got so many things going on. And if you want it to be the Broncos specific, check out our trip to London. We're also doing tailgates and everything. You can find all of our events over at thednvr.com/events.
I'm going to give a quick side shout out to an event that's happening. That's a DNVR collaboration event.
Love it.
And it's my favorite golf tournament in the world. It's called the Wheel Bar Open. It is in Estes Park, and they have some extra slots open on Sunday. So it's June 7th and June 8th, Saturday, Sunday. 2 days of a full tee sheet usually, but there's a couple slots open. And so if you want to get in, send me a DM and I'll point you in the right direction. But it is, to me, one of the most fun golf courses in Colorado, Estes Park Golf Course. Wow. The setting, Estes Park, to me, maybe most underrated city in Colorado. And this golf tournament is an absolute blast. So if you want to play in it, just shoot me a DM on any platform and I'll get you pointed in the right direction.
I might have to shoot you a DM. I'm going to be in Estes Park June 7th and June 8th.
Are you serious?
Yes. We're doing a little family, like with the extended family retreat up there. So I don't know if I could play golf, but we'll be in Estes Park.
Dang, I will be there too. You should come see us.
That could be very fun.
Yes. Yes.
So shout out to that as well. Henry, you're digging through the list. I feel like you've got a couple names to throw out there.
I think Malcolm Roach has a good case for top
Oh.
8. Again, like he is the like vibes guy on the defense. He's the voice of the defensive line room. He's like universally loved. He fits that glue guy type mold. He's not. Yeah.
It's a great one. He might be voted Mr. Bronco from inside the building. My only question is, does he have enough of that recognition from the outside to be that? Because I do like that you threw him out.
I think
can we
might.
figure out how many people we actually have on the list
We have-
definitively?
5, 6.
Alex Singleton,
Yep.
Garett Bolles, Cortland Sutton,
Quinn.
Quinn Meinertz, Nick Bonito,
Jonathan Cooper.
Yeah.
Jonathan Cooper.
We got 6.
I think I'd go Roach in front of Benito even. Because again, like if you're talking about like Mr. Bronco type vibes, again, universally loved. Like there's a bunch of people who want Nick Bonito not to get a second contract, you know?
Man.
I would not
You don't
put
think
Roach
so?
above. Nope.
Okay.
So are there...
Wait, someone said this in the comments and then has a case for top 8, which is Justin Sternad, but probably too much negative fan attention.
So that's why I think PJ Locke would be a good one. But again, negativity from the fans is.
Yeah.
Can you be Mr. Bronco as a backup?
Yeah.
Because technically Justin Sternad is, and
I
then
mean,
also
Monte
Malcolm
Morris.
Roach is.
Monte Morris was Mr. Nugget, and he was always a backup.
Okay,
I was
fair,
thinking like
fair.
could like late stage Gary Kubiak have been Mr. Bronco?
Oh.
Wow. Did people like him that much back then?
I don't know.
Like as a player?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. That's a great question.
I mean,
Backup quarterback always
great
has love.
caddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the Ted Scott of the Broncos.
So I mean, right now Malcolm Roach is in there, unless
Mm-hmm.
we find 2 other guys.
Because I don't think.
What about Marvin Mims?
Yeah, I don't think so yet. I think that you just need
Dude,
another.
He got a lot of love from the fan base during
Totally.
all of
He
our
did.
draft a wide receiver
He
conversations.
Did. He did. One
I
more
just-
name to throw out: Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yeah.
He's the work ethic's there. He's very much loved.
But
He's
I would
the
put
underdog
Jaquan
story.
McMillan
I agree.
higher.
Than either of them. I would say
After
maybe not.
drafting a corner.
I know.
again this
I
year,
Totally.
Like
They basically drafted over him. which is probably something you should do, but I think he's pretty beloved by the fans.
If you're going to say heart and soul of the team, like I couldn't say that about Jaleel or Marvin. And I think that there's a chance in the future they get there, but there isn't enough fingerprints yet.
Well, and I think there's a reason why we're having to dig deep to finish this list. I don't think there shouldn't be this many candidates.
Yeah.
This is the whole Nuggets roster we're listing, basically.
Everyone that played's on here right now.
Yeah, exactly. The entire playoff rotation is. Yeah.
Really quick, one guy I want to give a shout out to. He's not going to make this list now, and he's probably not going to make it for the future because he's not going to be here long enough. But I thought it was really cool that Evan Ingram showed up to Alex Singleton's event this past week. Also, Zach Triner was their long snapper, a new Bronco.
I don't think anyone pointed out Evan Ingram to me.
He didn't play, so he was there for about 15 minutes
I
to
didn't
show
see him
up,
either.
show support
That's
to
nice.
him. I thought it was really cool. I think he's going to be very loved, but he's not in this conversation now.
Yeah.
One guy that might be,
I wouldn't be surprised if he is a year from now.
but he's only going to be on the team for one more year then.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there's
You could
I mean,
though.
you could
Yeah,
extend
yeah.
it.
I
extend,
agree. Another one thrown out, Riley Moss.
yeah.
He's kind of has that dog,
Yeah.
like in a good way.
I also ran into Riley Moss in the real world recently. Great guy.
He is.
Yeah.
He was really nice to us.
Riley's another one.
He's in there to me. I think he's
Riley's
the
in
top
that
8.
Marvin Mims tier though, where it's like in a year if he's there, I wouldn't be surprised. But to me, there isn't enough of like, again, fingerprints on the team, heart of the team, soul of the team. Like they're on that path. They're just too young. Like to me, this is like a veteran, like proven, trusted.
I would put Riley Moss over Malcolm Roach
Okay.
definitively.
One more name I want to throw out, Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those traits there. I mean, the guy who talks to the media so that others don't have to. Like that's. There are a lot of those traits. He checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Plays good football. Doesn't. I mean, maybe it's the fan appreciation. That's probably what it is. That's the biggest knock.
Well, and
But I
we're
think he
running
might
into the
belong.
same thing over and over and over again, and it's because the Broncos haven't won enough.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. So how do we round this out?
So we have 2 spots left still?
2 spots for Riley Moss, Marvin Mims, Malcolm Roach. Was that it? Mike McGlinchey.
I mean, Zach Allen might deserve to be on there.
Is it just
At
because
this
he's
point.
such a good player, though?
Yeah, but I mean, it's also.
I have very little Mr. Bronco vibes from Zac Allen.
That's fair. Yeah. Also, it's going to be interesting. Some of these guys we're
Yeah.
talking about have contract things that are in the air right now.
That's
Dang.
future.
You are thrown off this list if you create some sort of
Yes.
contract dispute at some
This
point.
is what you are right now, not what you're going to be a year or two.
Yeah,
from now.
no. Yeah.
Whoever
But
wins this might be able to use it in their contract negotiations.
But then the team will say, you can't go public with this because then you'll have it removed.
That's true.
Like Aaron Gordon can't hold out and still be Mr. Nugget. And that's you never think of Aaron
True.
Gordon potentially holding out. So he
I don't think so.
Michael Burton, wow. Some fullback love.
I don't think people
appreciate him the 2 carries he gets and then they forget about him.
do. They even appreciate those.
Yeah,
Michael
probably
Burton, good fullback, but I would ask if the casual
mean-
Bronco fan could name one play.
Jano probably would have had a case back.
Jano
in the
would
day.
have.
That I think points more so
Yeah.
to the team at that
Yeah, yeah.
point than although Jeno was.
I mean,
was
Brandon McManus probably would have had a case.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Those
I would
teams.
be like if the Ravens decided Patrick Ricard is Mr. Raven, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like you're not. Name a play.
yeah,
It's not that he's not a good fullback. It's just that there aren't really anything to.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Comments are already about PS2 not being on the list from people who weren't here when we explained why PS2 can't be on the
Yeah.
list.
Honestly, like when you get to
Yeah,
this
this
point,
is going to be tough to put
Pat-
on social media.
Pat might be deserving of next up.
He's ineligible.
You think so?
Yes.
Because he's the best.
He's the best player on the team.
Is he ineligible or is that just like a knock against him?
No, he's ineligible.
It's just straight up ineligible. Best player can't be it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. And you can't go the quarterback route. You can't go best player.
Yeah, I think quarterbacks can't win.
So
It's
Like
just
no
expectation.
No broadcast would ever be like, and here comes Pat Surtain, the fan favorite.
True.
Like
That is true.
once
The
you're that
best
good, you
player on
can't
the
be
team.
the fan. You can't be a fan favorite because
Right.
you're just too good.
And it's similar to the quarterback thing where it's like when you're the superstar face of the franchise type, like all of those things that we appreciate from the others, those are just expectations. Like Pat needs to have like
Yeah.
a solid voice. Like he needs to be the good guy. Like he needs to be out
Yes.
there promoting things.
Yeah, I agree. So
Yeah,
where
that's
do we
fair.
go? How do we
DJ
round this out?
DJ Jones.
I don't think
should be
so.
thrown out there. Yeah, I agree with Henry.
Yeah.
Man, I think with one of these last two spots, Riley Moss would be good in there.
Yeah.
But
Who do we settle on? Riley Moss, Malcolm Roach.
I'd put Zach Allen in front of those guys the more I think about it. I think there's just enough there where it's just like, oh, it's more on-field type stuff than off-field, which can be a bit of a concern. But when you get to this point,
man, and then I think about it, and Mike McGlinchey feels like he has to be on here. He embodies the right things for being that sort of guy.
yeah, I think Mike.
Oh wait, did we not put Miners on, or did we? We did put Miners on.
He
right?
should be on there. Yeah. I believe.
Yeah.
So, he's number 7 seed.
Because I think, like, again, first definition, I think, is heart of the team or soul of the team. And so it isn't just, like, necessarily good guy. There has to be, like, at least enough juice behind it to make the case. And that's where I just fear with Riley, there just isn't enough of, like, everybody rallies around him. Everybody, you know? Not yet. And I
Can we
think that
just
there will
give
be.
2 buys
We honestly could just keep
and
it
just
as
cut
is.
it at 6. I feel like anyone else that's being added to this list is being forced.
You think so?
So then, who gets the bye? How are we setting this?
It was just the 1 seed and the 2 seed would get the bye against the.
yeah.
Okay, I like it.
Okay.
So we've got it set. 6
All right.
people. Boom.
I think that's the right move.
I love it. Okay, so we are going to. How are we going to do this? Put this out on Twitter, or do we want to like do this during our show, where we'll do each day this week? We'll do a live vote during the show, and at the end of the show, that'll determine one of them, and then the next day we'll do the next one.
I think
if
the
you want
live
to
vote could be
avoid the
fun.
social media
Yeah.
part of.
Yeah. I think that we hit the right audience if we do it here versus on Twitter.
And Chuck, if you want to make PS2 Mr. Bronco, you should do it on your podcast.
Oh, is Chuck mad?
Wow.
Who is
Chuck
he?
probably wasn't being too nice. Oh,
Yeah.
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 Okay, let's do that then. Tomorrow, we're going to vote on this every single day of this week on the show. So make sure to tune in live on YouTube, 11
it.
a.m. every single day this week. Tomorrow, well, we already know the 1 seed's winning. So we'll go with the 3 versus 4 seed. Make sure to tune in to vote there. We got a super chat coming in from our friend Spencer Niles, who says, I'm flying to Denver for my first Broncos game, the Broncos-Chiefs game. What are some cool things to do in Denver? Oh, it's a long list.
What time of year is this?
Broncos-Chiefs mid-season, right before the bye, so November, 2nd week in November.
Okay. So we're past like Red Rock season.
We should do like
Although
a travel
check out
guide.
Red Rock.
Rocky season.
We should do like
Yeah.
a travel guide episode we can
Yeah.
link back to.
That would be fun.
There's a
would be
ton of
good.
parks in Denver and some great located. Checking out a park.
I'm in such summer mode right now that I'm trying to think what I would be doing in November.
People
even
like
say-
going and look at the leaves. Is it the right time for that?
No, you're
Nope.
like a month and a half.
Way too
yeah,
late.
yeah.
That's not for me.
If the weather's good enough, go check out Red Rocks. Even during the day, it's
Yeah.
like an open park that you can go check out. That's really cool.
Yep. I mean, depends on if you're into like breweries. There's a bunch of cool breweries to check out.
I'd say go to a Nuggets or Avs game.
Actually, yes,
That would be number one on
or
my list.
Come to the DNVR bar
True.
for one of those games, like on a Friday night.
I don't think the seasons will be started by then.
they will.
November they are.
Yeah.
I thought
they
it was
usually start
end of,
mid-October.
it's end of October. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Nuggets
that.
and Avs game would be my top recommendations.
Got some good restaurants you can visit.
Man,
Come to the tailgate before the game.
Yep. Breweries is a good way to check out the city and like get the vibes of different spots and
Yeah,
stuff.
totally. I
That's-
mean, they're all over the place.
Yeah, they really are. Okay, so there's one more piece of news that we need to get to today. And the Broncos made 9 11 different changes in their personnel department. And I just want to get your guys' thoughts on those. And we're going to do that in overtime over at thednvr.com/overtime. Make sure to continue the conversation with us by going to thednvr.com. So the Broncos, they lost so many people this offseason. George Payton, his scouting department, he lost, starting nearly all the way up top, his assistant general manager, Darren Muji, goes to the Jets, becomes their general manager, lost like 4 or 5 other people as well inside the front office from people being hired away because the NFL has seen how good the Broncos are, and they've poached them from the Broncos. So the Broncos on Friday announced 11 changes with 9 promotions from the inside, with the most notable one being Reed Burkhardt becoming the assistant general manager. And then they made 2 outside hires. Cam Williams coming over from the Patriots. He's now the co-director of player personnel, along as A.J. Durso. They bumped him up to co-director of player personnel. And then they made one other outside move, which is a really cool one, and not really an outside move. Well, I guess it is an outside move, but kind of an inside move too. Jordan Dizon, director of pro personnel now, and why this is kind of an outside move, but kind of an inside move, is because just 3 years ago, he was with the Broncos, and he spent many years with the Broncos. He went to Philadelphia, spent 3 years there, got a Super Bowl ring with the Eagles, beat the Chiefs, and now he's back. And that's kind of the one outside of, assistant GM. That's the one that stands out because not only does he have connections to the Broncos, but Ryan, he's an all-time CU Buff as well.
All-time CU Buff. I said this on the Buffs podcast on Friday, but the most fun linebacker I've ever watched in college.
Wow.
I mean, the definition of sideline to sideline. Just absolutely all over the field, all games. One of those guys where, like, if you're watching the broadcast, someone will make a play and the announcer will go, "Guess who?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There goes that man again.
Yeah.
It was Jordan Dizon all the time, like just unbelievable. And they used to like share this kind of like mythical story about him on broadcast that I think is true. Came from his mom, apparently.
Pretty good source.
He learned how to tackle by chasing down wild boar for them to eat in Hawaii with just a knife.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Yes. And if you ever watched him play, it would make sense because the aggression and the speed and the ability to get guys on the ground was unbelievable. So 2nd round pick by the Lions. Honestly, would have been great if he just didn't have some really bad injuries. But, all-time buff. All-time buff.
Man, and so it's really cool to bring him back. He's also a very valuable piece now, director of pro personnel here. And so a lot of moves. Henry, any, concern, excitement when you see so many moves made?
No, not really. I mean, Jordan Dizon's the one guy who's like, oh, that's kind of fun. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of promoting from within. Usually probably a good thing when things are going well. Just give guys the promotions they've earned. But yeah, I can't say I know much of anything about many of these guys. And so it's tough for me to say, oh, good job, you got Cam Williams. But I can say I trust them if that's who they want.
Yep. Totally. I completely agree. The one thing I will say about Cam Williams, apparently he was like running the Patriots draft room this past draft. So he's viewed pretty highly. And the Broncos were able to poach him because for some reason the guy that's running their draft room didn't have a better title than co-director of player personnel.
And is this a bit of a Walton Penner flex? Like, they can pay these people whatever they want.
Yep.
If they want a guy, they can go get him.
Yep, exactly. And that's something where the salary cap, yes, you do have ramifications. Even though having money does help you with the salary cap because you can get bigger bonuses, you can put money in escrow that some teams aren't able to do, but no salary cap with the coaching staff, no salary cap with the front office. So it's a really good point. And this was a really fun show.
It was.
We are going to be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. with more fun conversations. And a guy that many might consider Mr. Bronco for the Super Bowl 50 team is going to be joining us later this week. He is on the Player's Perspective with Benny Fowler, and what I'll tell you, incredible interview. It just taped before this show, and he is
I don't even know who it is.
Fan favorite by far. You're going to love it later this week, so make sure to stay tuned. He's got that dog in him, I'll tell you that. We'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. on the DNVR Broncos podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.